Two.
Yeah, it's recorded.
All right, we're recording. So welcome everybody to season 2 of Dating After 50 with Robin and Julie. And we've been on hiatus. We've been staying at home. We've been phasing 1, 2, and 3, and so now we're in phase 4. So they tell me, I don't even know. And how are you doing, Jules?
Oh, good, Robin. It's the weekend, so a little more relaxed, but overall I'm doing okay. Just trying to keep on keeping on during this pandemic and lockdown and working and dating or not dating. But overall I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm well, but how we've been talking, you and I, we've got the female point of view after 50 and dating, and we've got a special guest tonight. Oh, he's laughing already. So we have a over 50 male, and his name's Todd. And Todd, welcome to our show.
Thank you for having me.
So glad that you're here to give us a little bit of perspective, about the dating landscape that you have to navigate. So tell us a little bit about you and your dating style and what you're seeing.
It's a nightmare.
I might add that Todd is our first male guest, so that's pretty exciting. Woohoo! So congrats on that.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
So it's what?
It's a nightmare.
Well, okay, tell us what that means. Like, tell us a little bit about your dating history. Like, where are you looking? What are you looking for?
Yeah.
What are you finding?
To the point you're at now, like what?
Well, now it's over 50. I just want to look for someone who can hold a conversation. Is that too difficult? They don't have to have the same interests as me. Introduce them to something new, but someone who's willing to give a relationship a chance. But what I see is people meet you, but they always want to try to meet someone else. Like, they don't give it a chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially with the online stuff. You'll have a great time. You talk about a second date, and then they go home and go right to check their profile, see who messaged them while they were out with you. So
yeah,
it's frustrating, to say the least.
Kind of that notion of an endless buffet. There's always an option. There's
Right.
always somebody
Too
that
much.
might have something different that you don't have, or like better things on the horizon. So
and God forbid you suggest, hey, we had a nice time. We're planning a second date. How about if we just don't go on our dating profiles until we get together again? Then they're like, whoa, you're too serious. And, I don't want to be dating, 6 different people a week. It's a nightmare. It's too much.
So what kind of platforms are you using? What do you consider the high quality ones?
Where do you meet
the best one is someone trying to fix you up. That's probably the best, because they know someone who knows you and knows the other person. So that might be have a better chance of working. But this online stuff is just, I don't know. You can meet a lot of people. It's good for people who are shy, because it gives them a chance to communicate before they actually have to meet. But like I said, there's just too much to choose from.
Right.
So being fixed up is good.
So when you're looking online, like, what attracts you? Like, what are you seeing that like calls to you?
Well, to sound shallow, first of all, if I'm attracted to the picture.
Sure.
That's, but then, and I like to talk right away instead of texting and messaging, just to see if they can talk. Because I was texting or messaging on the site with someone, and I said, hey, let's have a conversation. And then we talked, and within like the first 5 seconds, I knew I didn't want to go out with her because her voice went through my head like a nail. I'm like, I can't have a conversation with her. It's just too annoying. So why waste the time?
Oh my God, I can't breathe. I totally get that, though.
Yeah.
If they don't have good voice.
Yeah. No, and they have to have a sense of humor. I'll give you an example. I was talking to this girl, and everything seemed fine. And she asked me, hey, do you think people find you attractive? And I said, well, the blind do. And she's like, you know what? I like a guy with more self-confidence. You sound too insecure. And I said, well, I want someone who has a sense of humor because I was joking. So that ended that conversation. You know, you can't make this stuff up.
Nope.
I know.
There should be a reality show called like something like this where people like try
So
to
once you get past the pictures and you think the pictures and the profile look decent, what do you look for next? Like what else kind of draws you in and makes you consider swiping right
Well,
on this person?
I mean, anyone can make their profile look good. Just talking to them, see if they're, if they can have a conversation. If we have, like I said, some similar interests, we don't need them all. Even though I'm 50, I'd still like to experience new things. So have some of your own interests that you can introduce me to and vice versa. And someone who has a sense of humor, who can laugh. Mm-hmm. I'm not looking for anything unrealistic, I don't think. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I've had no luck.
Yeah.
So what is the most what is the weirdest date you've ever had?
You want to know? Okay.
Yeah.
So this one. So again, I was talking to her for like a couple weeks and we decided to meet and she asked me to pick her up. This was another online one. And usually I don't do that because you don't know them, but I'm like, sure, I picked her up. So I went to go get her. And first of all, she comes out. She looks much older than she did in the picture. I'm like, whatever, my picture is a couple years old too, whatever. And then I look down and I'm like, God, those are some really ugly shoes she's wearing. They just, I don't, I'm not a fashion geek. They look terrible. So we got to, we were going somewhere in Chicago. We parked and we got out and I can't get off these shoes because they're so ugly. And then I realized, oh my God, she's got a wooden leg. And that she had never told me. So now that's all I can think about. I'm like, there's no way I can be in a relationship with her because, only one leg is there. Do I say, spread your leg, if we're intimate? I don't know. So after the date, she called me. She goes, well, I think that was kind of weird. I said, well, yeah, you could have mentioned the leg to me. Just.
Yeah.
Why you had to pick her up?
This sounded like a Seinfeld episode.
Her name was Eileen. I'm just kidding.
Peg.
But Peg. But I mean, just tell me. I mean, yes, I understand that there's a good chance I'm going to find someone with fake boobs. That's just a thing. But a leg? That's not.
You just didn't expect the enhanced leg.
Right. Oh.
Yeah.
But then there was another one. I walked into the restaurant. No. This one was. It was just funny how it happened. But I walked into the restaurant. The girl was already sitting there, and as soon as I walk in and make eye contact, she has like this look of like dread on her face, like a total disappointment. And I'm like, "Is there a problem?" She goes, "You look old, older than you did in your picture."
Wow.
And this was and I said, "Well, it's June. I mean, that picture was taken in June. It's July, so I am a month older." And I said, "Do you want to do this?" She's like, "No." I'm like, "Okay, I'll see you later." And
wow. Oh, wow. Wow.
Wow. Cut off at the start. Wow.
Yeah, it's just.
Those are pretty harsh. Both of them. Wow.
They're hilarious. I mean, you can't make that up.
No.
The one that was harsh, the one that kind of like hit me a little bit was I met this girl online. We went and met at a bar to watch a band, just to meet. And things went fine. So we made a plan for like a real date. So we went out to dinner. We went to a nice steak place. Then we went to a movie. Then we picked up gelato and we came back to my apartment. And she walks in and she goes, looks around. She goes, "You're poor." I'm like, "What?" She goes, "You don't have any artwork up on your walls. You must be poor." Now, I'm like, okay. I just don't have. What am I going to put up? I have my Blackhawk pictures I can put up, and my poster of Beavis and Butthead. Tell me where to put it. So that one didn't go anywhere after that either.
Wow.
That's right.
So art on the walls defines wealth. Okay then.
Apparently.
Good to know.
I guess so.
Oh my God.
So I guess I'm still poor because I still don't have any artwork up on the wall.
Yeah, my wall looks pretty bare too here.
I have a place for my mail and my keys on the wall. Does that like bring me up a little bit? I don't know.
What age ranges are you finding that are attracted to you? Are you looking at women in our age group, or are you?
I am, but it seems like sometimes if they're a couple years older, like actually someone like in their 60s reached out to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
would you consider someone that age or no go?
I don't maybe 60. But see, here's the problem. Even though I'm 54, I'm extremely immature.
Well, the Beavis and Butthead poster kind of
that kind of gave it away.
Kind of gave that away. I know. So I don't know if I had something in common with somebody. Like right now, I mean, I work at a hospital, and there's a bunch of single people there, but they're all like mid-20s. They're not that much older than my daughter, and I just look at them and I'm like, no,
yeah,
I can't do that.
Yeah.
No, I think around my age would be good.
Mm-hmm.
Are you just finding that just aren't quality women out there, or are you
I think
we don't look at women's profiles, so we can't be judgy the way we'd want to be.
Well, okay,
like we are with men's profiles.
Yeah,
okay, so I'll give you an example. So my cousin, I'm not going to give her name, but when she was single, she would go out with anybody that asked her. She's like, Todd, it's someone to pay for my dinner and drinks. So I find a lot of women just, some women will just do that. And I still think some of the women, for some reason, that are looking at me or whatever, are just still looking for someone to take care of them financially. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of upsetting because...
Yeah.
And how does that come across? How do you detect that?
They'll ask what I do, what kind of car I drive, and then when I say I rent an apartment, it's like, okay. You don't own a house? I'm like, nope, I do not own a house. I rent.
Neither do we.
Yeah.
But it's fine. I don't care.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this. So one time I was on a site, and one of the questions for your profile is, what's your income? Up, between this and this and this and this. And then I said, we'll tell you later. And I was getting no responses. And then just as and I want to do an experiment. So I changed it to over 150,000. And then I got slammed with emails. Wow. But not only that, there was a particular girl that I had reached out to who never responded to my email. Then I changed this, and then she responds that day. So I responded, said, hey, thanks for reaching out. I just want to tell you, here's what I did. That's not my salary. I just, put it out there to see if it would change anything. And she called me a liar and an ass. And I said, well, wait a second. I go, I emailed you 3 months ago and you never responded. That's the only thing that's changed in my profile. And now you're reaching out to me. So what does that say about you? Yeah, that didn't go in.
That's really good.
I know. So it's tough. Plus I have kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 of them. And they're older now, so it's a little bit easier.
So how has dating changed? How has COVID changed?
Oh, I don't see anybody.
Oh, fair.
This is it. I see people at work. That's about it.
Are you still on the sites looking and swiping and chatting and talking to people, or have you just kind of
I've narrowed it down to just one site for right now. Mm-hmm. I go back and forth with them, but maybe I'll meet someone through work. Through someone at work or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not making it my job. I feel it will happen when it happens, but I don't mind meeting people. It's been fun. It's been interesting. With the pirate. So. Have
you ever ghosted someone?
No. Wait.
Oh, wait.
Have I?
someone that you were talking with fairly consistently.
Yeah,
And
not like,
not just like a swipe thing, but just
No. I don't. No, I'm not that immature.
communicating with,
I'll say no. I haven't done that. No.
or stood anyone up.
Sorry.
Have you ever stood anyone up on a date?
I have not.
Yeah.
have
That
you
would be
been
rude.
stood up?
I mean, the closest was when I walked into that restaurant. She looked at me and thought I was old, and I just laughed.
Yeah.
Have you ever stood anybody up?
I have not. Have
What,
you?
like me?
Yeah.
Oh God, no. No, I treat people with respect.
Yeah.
That's
me
good.
neither. Yeah. I've been
Julie?
stood up though, so I would never want to do that to someone.
You've been stood up?
Yes, I have on
That's
a couple of occasions.
Yeah, so have I.
That sucks.
And within the last couple of years. These are, this wasn't like back in my 20s or anything. This was like when I was dating 40s and 50-year-olds. So
That's mature.
still happening. Yep.
I'm sorry about that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Men should be more adult.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it kind of like brings the question, like, are those like real people? Like, do you come across like how do I say
yeah.
it?
Catfish.
Professionals, catfishing, fake profiles.
I've come across quite a few who are just looking for sex.
Oh, tell us about that.
Like paid sex.
Paid or
Well, I heard men have told me that the sites are filled with escorts and women of the night type people looking for clients.
or day.
Day, morning, afternoon. Yeah. There's really no differential with this time of day.
No, they just. I can tell you another story, but I don't know if you want to hear this one.
Of course we do.
You like your stories.
Edit it.
Are you sure?
Sure.
Okay.
Lay it
So,
on.
I was talking to this girl, and then, we're just having a normal conversation, and then all of a sudden she brought up the subject of sex. Not
How
me.
did she do that?
She started asking questions like, hey, let me ask you a question. What do you like to do? What don't you like to do? How big are you? All these questions. So I'm
Was this in
answering.
person or
No, this was
via
on the
text?
phone.
On
This
the
was on the
phone.
phone. Talking.
Okay. Wow.
And so I'm answering it because I don't know. I don't care. And then she says to me, there's something I need to share with you. It tends to freak out most guys, but I want to be upfront and honest. And I said, okay, what? You're really a dude? She's like, no. She goes, no. She goes, all right, now you guys said I can tell the story. She said, when I orgasm, I spray. I said, okay. Do you get good distance? And she goes, well, she goes, well, one time when I was, taking care of myself, I hit my cat at the end of the bed. Now, I was being sarcastic. I wasn't looking for an answer. So then I made a comment about her cat smelling like her cat, but I used a different word.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I guess. And then she goes, well, why don't you come out here? We can go to the bar by my house, and then I'll sneak you into my basement. I'm like, sneak me into your basement?
What?
That sounds like you're going to be murdered.
Right?
She goes, I don't have
on someone.
She's like, I don't have a bed down here, but I have a lazy boy that we can use. I'm like, well, no, why do you have to sneak me in? Are you married? She's like, no, I don't want my daughter to see me bringing guys home. And I said, well, I'm good.
Wow.
I'm going to stay.
So that brings me to the question, like, when do you think it's appropriate to have sex?
Oh,
You know what?
Good
Okay,
question.
I'll tell you this. Quite honestly, I think if you're hoping to have like a serious relationship, okay, I think waiting, I know guys are going to kill me, but waiting is probably a good idea because, if you sleep together too soon, that's what the relationship tends to take on. I mean, you can't have sex too early and then try to build the other stuff, but you can build the other stuff and then bring the sex into it. So like the last meaningful relationship I had with someone, believe it or not, we waited 3 months before we slept together.
Wow.
I know, that's a long time for me.
Bravo.
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 No, seriously. And then, we built all the other stuff up and it was good for a while. So, again, but like when I first got divorced and got out there and I was meeting women who just got divorced, a lot of them, just wanted to have sex for whatever reason. If they had no intimacy in their marriage, if it had
Mhm.
gone stale or whatever it was, that's what they were looking for first and foremost.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do a lot of women you see out there like talk about sex first, or like, you know, or do you see like how do they come across? Because like on from our point, our side, Julie and I come across men that like right away want to come on over, and we're like, we could murder you. You know, like,
That's true.
you know,
Right.
we could have somebody here to rob you. Like, why would you
Well, see,
even do
right there,
that?
if someone who you don't even meet, who you're just talking to, says, "Hey, I'm coming to your house, or come to my house," well, then that's a red flag right there, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
You know, other than the murdering, it's probably that they're just looking to get laid. But
Yeah.
It's like mind blowing. You're like, I don't even know you.
right, exactly.
Like that would be our first meeting. That's really weird.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever happened to me. I don't think on the first meeting.
So what do you like to do on a first meeting? Like, do you just like, are you like a let's have a phone call person, or let's meet in person, like coffee, or?
Yeah, just something simple where there's no, you know, I met someone for coffee, and this was great. I met someone for coffee. You know, I didn't drink coffee, so I had a lemonade, but whatever. And we just talked and talked. The next thing we know, and this was early in the morning, like 9:00.
Wow.
And next thing we know, it's like 12:30. And I'm like, hey, are you hungry? She's like,
That's a good sign.
so we went into lunch. You know, it was just a smooth thing. Yeah, where there was no pressure, where it could have ended after coffee. You know, you go your own way. But yeah,
Did
I
you
think
see her again? Did you have a second date with her?
no, because here's why.
Oh no.
So then after we had lunch, we were walking around this outdoor mall, and then they had Blackhawk jerseys at this one store. And I said, hey, can we go in here for a second? She's like, sure. And I was looking, and I said, you know, and she knew my ex-wife through her cousin was friends with my ex. And I said, you know, Nancy would probably love this jersey. Well, she thought I wasn't over my ex because I said that she might like a Hawks jersey. So one great date, it did like a complete 180. It was great, and then it just ended. I never saw her again.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, the big takeaway is not to mention your ex, no matter what.
Apparently.
Right.
Not on a
Let's
first
learn,
date.
hopefully, right?
You know,
Yeah, let's learn a little something here.
You know, that's true, because you know what? You know, I mean, I've had someone who were talking about their ex and just bashing them, but I don't want to hear that either. I mean, I don't want to hear you guys hate each other and he's an ass. And
Oh yeah, that's why you keep the exes way
Yes,
out of the conversation.
yeah.
right. I mean, if down the road, you know, we're in a relationship, I hope that you have a decent relationship with your ex. I mean, that's what I would hope for. But
Yeah, absolutely. And decent is, yeah. So are you looking to get married again?
hell no.
Not just
I've done
no. Hell no.
Hell no.
I've done it twice.
Third time could be the charm, though.
I doubt it. I was married at 26, divorced before I turned 28. And then the last one lasted almost 11 years. That's a good run.
That is a good run.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I actually met someone who, when we went out a few times, and then she told me, you know, you'd be fun to hang out with, but you're not relationship material.
Oh.
How'd you feel about that?
I'm like, huh. Okay.
So
And then I thought about it. Maybe I'm like, maybe she's right. But then maybe I haven't met the person. Who knows?
So what do you think makes relationship material?
Oh boy.
What does that look like to you?
For me, I mean, I'm just a simple person. I can talk, I can listen, I can be helpful. I care, but I don't know. Maybe she thinks that I would get bored. Maybe for some reason, some people think I'm like a player, but come on. I doubt it. I'm lumpy, I'm bald.
That doesn't.
My playing days are over.
Well, that doesn't make. My playing days are over. So, what's your ideal? Like, what is your ideal situation then? I mean, you said you have kids, so
yeah, I have kids. Someone that would make my life better. I can make their life better. Would add to my kids' life. Not be jealous of them.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually had people who were like jealous of my kids because of how much time I spend with them, and we call and text, or they would just pop over. It's not that hard, right? It shouldn't be that difficult.
Well, we have a dating show.
We have a show. We have a much smaller pool at this point,
Well, men are pigs.
Yeah, we've discovered that on our own. But why is that? So, like, you have guy friends. Like, so are they all married? Like.
Yeah, but they're married and they're not happy.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not out there cheating, but they're just like, ugh.
Yeah. They complain a lot, probably about their wives and their lives.
I have two that complain, and I'm like, dude, get out of the marriage or shut up. I don't want to hear it anymore.
Right.
Well, I can't because of the kids. I'm like, that's a bunch of shit.
Yeah, that is a bunch of shit.
You're not doing your kids any good by sticking into this marriage. I mean, you sleep in separate rooms. You guys show no affection to each other. When you guys do talk, it's just yelling. So how are the kids benefiting from that?
Yeah. Right. It's hardly a model of a marriage that you would want for your children.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, just don't tell them like what it's like in the dating world. Just don't keep that a secret.
No. You know what? There's just going to be more pigs out there then if they get divorced.
I wish I had like more than just water in my cup right now.
Need a shot of something, right?
I might take up drinking. That's another problem in the dating world. I don't drink. I quit drinking when I was 15. And then when people find out that I don't drink, they immediately think I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I just don't like the taste.
They don't, it's so ingrained in our culture that you should be drinking on dates or in your social life, right?
And I try to put it this way. I said, you know what? If we go out and you want to have a drink, go ahead. Because if I go out with a vegetarian, I'm still getting steak. You know what I mean? I don't care.
Yeah.
Eat what you want.
That's true.
Yeah, I've had that experience too. When I've gone through periods of not drinking for whatever reason, people assume that I've got a problem. And I'll just say, no, it's just for health reasons. I'm just taking a break, and they think I'm weird and strange. And
well, when next time you're on a date and you say you don't want to drink, just tell the guy that you're pregnant. See what happens. See how quickly he runs for the door.
That's good. I'll have to try that.
That's a good one. Oh God. What's your biggest turnoff with women?
My biggest turnoff.
Yeah, what sends you flying or swiping left or whatever?
Oh, it's just
besides some of the things you've already related.
Yeah, besides seeing family members. No, I've actually on a site my sister pops up. I'm like, I couldn't swipe fast enough.
I'm guessing you're swipe left for that.
Oh, I took the app off my phone and refreshed it, everything, just to get away from her. I don't know. Just they have to strike me as being somewhat, I have to be attracted to them. There's only so much you can, tell from a picture.
Right.
But I'm telling you, what a turn-off is when they start talking about money and stuff and asking like your material possessions and shit.
Yeah.
Because right there I know, okay, well, she's looking for someone with money. I don't have it, so why are we even
here? Yeah. Well, and plus you want somebody to like want you for you,
One time I got so frustrated. I was talking to this girl. And I go, listen. I'm Jewish, because that seems to be a turn off to people. I go, I have no money. I have 2 kids. So if any of that bothers you, let's not even take this any further. She's like, wow. I'm like, okay. I had someone break up with me when she found out I was Jewish. 4 months into a relationship.
No way. Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, what? How is that possible?
Because religion never came up. Right. And then one night we're at her apartment. She starts playing with my necklace. And she goes, oh, what is that? I said, oh, it's a Black Hawk Indian head. She goes, no, the other thing. I said, oh, it's a chai. I go, it's a Hebrew letter. She goes, you're Jewish? I said, yeah. Never called me again. Never returned my calls. Nothing. So
I'm sorry. That sucks.
I know. It's not like I picked Jewish. It just happened. And I left her a message. I said, oh, listen, breaking up with me because I'm Jewish is really pathetic. I go, if you waited just a few more weeks, I'm sure you could have found a much better reason.
You need to do stand-up.
Seriously.
You're going to be on America's Got Talent just with the dating stories alone.
You think they want to hear about the squirter or the person with a leg?
Yes.
Yeah.
What if it was the same person? That would have been funnier.
Well, you can tell it how you want.
Oh boy, I wish
So
I still had their names and numbers and follow up with them now.
Follow up.
See how she's doing.
Did you get any better shoes for that leg?
Yeah, those shoes were hideous. They look like orthopedic shoes. Now I know
Well, they
why.
probably were. Well, so, all right, well, let me ask you a question. Like, you know, what if she had a great personality and a big bank account?
Okay, I still cannot get past that leg. I can't. I can't. I can't. I don't know. Does it come off? Does she put it to the side when she goes to bed?
Well, I would ask.
It's only. There's like only one leg there when we're having sex. That would freak me out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I can't imagine, like, because I know that, like, I was on a coffee, and this guy, all he talked about was his colostomy bag, and I was out. I'm like, thanks for the coffee I bought for myself. Thank you very much.
Oh,
and it was at McDonald's, and it was $1.
McDonald's?
Yes. And then
So
every so often that guy pops up, you know, and like if it's not a swipe you match, he'll say, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, how's that colostomy bag? Like that's all I would think about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So colostomy bag turnoff. Got it.
Yeah, write that one down.
Write that one down. But here's the thing, like, you know, if I got to know him and really liked him, then it probably wouldn't have been a problem. Do you know what I'm saying?
I
Like
worked around it. Yeah.
That wouldn't be the issue, but he put that right out there.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, not to mention we met at a McDonald's. Like that was a neat.
That's still right.
I've never met at a McDonald's. I've met at a
so
Starbucks.
tacky.
It was super tacky.
Yeah, I've met at Starbucks too. That I don't mind Starbucks at all, but
no, I didn't even mind Dunkin' Donuts. I love their coffee.
yeah.
I like Dunkin'.
I'm so highfalutin. I love my coffee at Dunkin' Donuts.
So Todd, what I'm hearing from you is that you prefer someone that is, you know, interesting, that can hold a conversation, that has a sense of humor,
Right?
Interested in you for what you bring to the table,
And who would let me
has their own interests and hobbies, passions that they like to pursue, has good relationship with their ex.
Right. And, you know, appreciates the fact that I'm a hell of a cook.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah, that's not altogether common. I mean,
and I'm not gay.
That is something that should be.
You're not gay.
You're not gay.
Well, that is good news for the women.
It's a totally different show now.
Right.
Yeah, that's taking a turn. So what's next for you, Todd?
What's next for me? I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully this COVID thing, I mean, since working in the hospital and I'm, you know, I see everything opening up, I'm just afraid that it's all going to hit again and we're going to shut everything down.
Yeah.
So I don't know how this dating thing is going to work. Because, I mean, think about it. With COVID and just texting and talking, it's like everybody has a relationship of a high school freshman. You know, that's all my son does with his girlfriend is they text.
Well,
you know?
yeah, I mean, on some level, I mean, like you could have a phone conversation and, you know, like I think COVID has its blessings in the sense that there's no rush for the physical.
Yeah.
And so if someone is saying, oh, let's get together and hook up, and you're like, it's COVID.
Right.
Whatever happened to STDs? Replaced by COVID. So,
exactly.
So now, like,
you got to keep your mask on.
If you're not willing to like take the time to get to know someone, like, and what you said like earlier is just like, you know, you took 3 months, like this like forces that issue. You know, COVID forces that, and it's good. I think it's good. I think a lot more relationships will be successful, more successful.
I never looked at it that way. That's a really good point. It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, if you're willing to talk and you're connecting, and you know, like, yeah, I do believe when you're in person, there's a whole different chemistry. Like, you know, then you know if there's chemistry or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you can build that base just by talking. I mean, you can FaceTime and see each other and what have you.
And then nobody knows you have no artwork on your walls.
That's right. Because
You could do a Zoom background.
Oh yeah.
And my
You could have a
doctor,
Van Gogh over here.
my doctor did that for my. I had a video appointment with my doctor last week, and he's, by this waterfall. I'm like, really, Frog? That's what you're going to show me? I go, look, here's my white walls.
It's a good background. Yeah.
So
No,
I don't know.
that's what I kind of think. I think like if people are willing to take the time to get to know each other, I mean, this time is going to happen one way or, it's going to go by one way or the other.
And I think at 50, most of us should know what it is that we want now and don't want in a relationship. I mean, we've all had our share of, not to be rude, our failed relationships. I mean, we're in our 50s. Pretty much every relationship I had failed. That's why I'm still single. But you learn from each of them.
Oh yeah.
Take a little bit away from each of them. What is it you like? What is it you don't like? And what what bothers you? Like what little thing bothers you about people or someone? Like the way they chew.
So what is the most important lesson that you've taken from I don't like to call them failed relationships. They're just relationships that ended.
Right. They just weren't meant to be in the long term.
You know what? Honestly, and it's going to sound so cliche, is communication. That's all I learned. That's huge. And trust. If there's no trust, it's a nightmare because you get questioned on every little thing. Like, why did it take you so long to text me? Who were you with?
Wow.
My last girlfriend was uncomfortable with the fact that I work with mostly women. Well, I mean, there's a lot of women in the hospital. It's not my fault. We talk, but that's it. Oh, you have their numbers? I said, yeah, we have like a group together that text each other. Hey, can you pick up a shift? Who wants to? Can someone take this? Whatever. It's not like, hey, what are you wearing?
What color are your underwear?
I'm not wearing any, so.
Oh, that solves that issue.
When you're
Well,
wearing
so when did that start showing up? Did that show up in a relation? Like, did that show up early? Was that a red flag? And
no, it actually came on later.
Wow.
I don't know. She had a problem one time. I'll never forget. Like early on, we were, she was leaving my apartment, so I was saying goodbye, and my phone rang, and it was my friend Lisa calling. So she got all mad that a girl was calling me. She thinks it's weird that a guy has female friends. I'm like, she's a friend, never dated, never slept with her, just a friend. And, from that point on, she has a problem. I said, you're friends with people on Facebook that you slept with and everything. So what's the problem?
Yeah.
Right.
It's her own insecurity.
She's had a relationship where she's been cheated on in the past. So I think she still has a little bit of scar from that and trust issues and whatnot. So.
Yeah. And she's just not living in the present with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, where I am. I go, if we're not together, I'm at work.
Yeah.
And I didn't even tell her about the patients that propositioned me. That would have been
Tell us.
Yeah, we're all ears.
We're all ears.
Apparently, so it was on one shift there were two different patients. One patient, she was 25, and we're in the ER. She's like, "Hey, come in here," because I was talking to her, just in the ER, and she said, "Hey, close that curtain." I said, "No." She goes, "Close it." She goes, "Close it. I want to have sex with you." So I'm like, "All right, I'm out. I gotta go." So I told the nurse,
What the hell's happening in this world?
Okay, but she was drunk.
Whoa.
So I found out that I become attractive to women if their blood alcohol level's over 30. Because then I went to another patient, and this was this Polish chick, and she's like, "Oh, I don't look so good. Is this underwear flattering?" I'm like, "Oh my God, just stop. Just sleep it off." So.
Oh Lord.
But then it was okay. The first one, this one was hilarious. It was this big woman, and she was like crazy. Like the first day I saw her, she was just screaming. She wasn't even saying words, and she was in 4-point lock restraints. And then I saw her the next day, and I had to hang out with her a little bit, and she was actually talking. And then she looks at me, she goes, "You want to fuck?" And I go, "What?" Because I didn't think I heard her right. And then she asked me again, and I'm like, "Okay, I gotta go."
Wow.
You got some adventures, Todd.
Yeah, that's
You could swing a few dates there in the hospital.
No, thank you.
You said you thought maybe you could meet someone at work. Well, there you go.
There you go.
Someone that isn't there detoxing would be better.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Oh my God. Well, this has been a fun conversation. Do you have anything else to ask him, Julie?
I don't know how to top that. That's
it is like hell. Only in your case, really, really funny.
It is fun. All right, do you want to hear one more story?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
This might be crossing the line, but I figure we're at the end anyways. So I met this woman. She was like a couple years older than me. And we went out and we were talking, having a good time. And then we went back to my place and started, fooling around or whatever. And then I stopped in the middle. I go, can I ask you a question? She goes, yeah. I go, do you know what year it is? She's like, yeah, it's 2000, whatever. I said, okay. I go, it's not the 1970s. I go, you got to clean that up. I go, you got way too much going on out there. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, nobody has that anymore. She goes, what, you want it bald like you're with a young girl? I'm like, no. You can have like a little landing strip or something, but that's just way too much. So that was the end of that date. And then, I don't know, like 8, 9 months. Well, like I had like 9 months later, 10 months later. What?
Oh my God.
Oh, 9 months later.
It gets better.
Oh, it doesn't.
So like 9 months later, this girl reaches out to me.
9 months later?
I know exactly.
9, 10 months later. I know it was within a year. And this girl reaches out to me, and we're chatting back and forth on the site. And I go, you look familiar. She goes, I go, have we met? She goes, I don't know. I go, oh, wait a minute. You're the chick who don't shave, right? She's like, oh yeah, I gotta go.
Oh, Todd.
Oh,
I think I need a cocktail after that one.
Who's laughing like that, Julie?
Julie's amused by this whole thing.
We asked for that story.
We sure did. Wait.
This will be your highest rated show.
Well, we don't know. We've got the kinky lady coming on soon.
Oh, really? When's she coming?
We don't know. We're gonna get her though.
When you say lady, is she like young or is she like 80?
Like
young or 80?
Whatever it is.
Like our age, or when I think of a lady, I think of someone who's older than me.
A woman.
A woman.
A female.
Yeah, a female.
Who knows how to.
Yeah.
How to kink it up.
How to kink it up. We got to kink it up. We got to know. We got to know. At 50, there's shit that we need to learn.
That's right.
Or
teach.
Or teach in some cases.
We ain't getting younger.
We ain't getting younger.
So
we're moving into phase 5.
So you're gonna like cut this down to like what, like a half hour?
Mm.
or not use it at all.
Oh, we're using it.
We're using it. Yeah. All right. Well, happy trails, happy hunting. So glad that you were on the show tonight. And may you find someone that meets all your hygienic criteria.
Yeah, just just have all your limbs. If you squirt, don't tell me. Just let me find out.
Right.
And
shave that bush.
Keep a clean shop, right? Exactly. Is that too much to ask?
Your top criteria.
All right. Well, I hope whoever's listening, thank you again, Todd, for showing up and joining us. It's been
a
lot of fun.
For your honesty, your stories, your insight on the male perspective and the whole dating after 50. It's been very useful.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go reevaluate my life now.
Well, good luck and keep us posted.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, girls.
Thank you, guys.
All right. That was our male viewpoints, and thank you for joining us. I hope you had some wine or something. Totally unexpected conversation. But a lot of fun.
Yeah, wow. It was fun. Good stories, good perspective there from Todd. And nothing too shocking other than his personal stories, but it was nice to hear from a male and just get their side of things. I don't very often have the opportunity to hear that, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. So if you're out there listening and you're a male and you have a perspective that you'd like to share, please get in contact with us. You can find us on our page here, and we'd love to hear from you. And if you'd like to be on the show, please show up and let us know. We'll have you on.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, Julie.